It's not so much a spiritual attack as it is a psychic attack. Succubus is something that you will encounter on your journey of sexual continence, be it semen retention, nofap, or whichever level you feel is most appropriate for where you are in your life. Now, to give us a reference point, I'm going to refer to Urban Dictionary to give us, again, a guide to which I'm speaking about here, and hopefully we can navigate around this particular entity which may be really hurting you in your journey at the moment. So, the succubus is a female demon who appears to be a very beautiful woman and has sex with men to feed off their sexual energy. Now, the succubus can actually manifest itself in several different ways. The first and most common is psychological or mental, and this may typically find its way into your life through your dreams, so when you are deep in the unconscious or subconscious mind or your body. But it can also manifest itself in your life in the form of physical form, of women who literally want to steal your sexual energy and then begin to graduate onto things like your financial energy, your health, your emotions, and your mental stability. And I'm sure that many men watching this channel have had their own experiences with succubus in the physical form. But I'm going to first and primarily address the psychological manifestation of this form. So, I'm going to leave the definition there because I don't want to get it too esoteric here. It starts talking about chanting and whatnot here. Because I wanted to give a very rational explanation for why you might be experiencing this entity in your journey at the moment. So, let's first look at this very logically. So, the psychological presence of this particular entity is a consequence of the backlog of memories that you have relating to women who are typically in the energy of lust. What do I mean by that? I mean that through the portals of your computer, your phone, your tablet, maybe even the laptop you're viewing me through this video, you have seen many women in that particular energy of lust, and you have a backlog, almost a library of a huge variety of women in that particular energy, expressing not only just physical but mental expressions of all the things that we've talked about so far: lust, desire, and an idea around taking something from you to procreate. Let's keep it simple. When you are typically viewing those images, it's also paired with the physical feedback of self-pleasuring yourself. You begin to train the subconscious mind to associate that particular kinetic feedback to those particular images. So much so that in some perhaps more serious cases, it begins to infringe on your healthy sexual behavior. So actually having sex with, let's say, your wife, your girlfriend, maybe other women that you're seeing. To the point where some of you may have done this particular thing, I have in my past, where you are having sex with a woman and then you begin to almost block out the visual information that you have in the moment in substitution for a mental thought, for a mental image. And you begin to maybe close your eyes and refer back to that backlog of memories that you may have in your library, but you're still getting that kinetic feedback. Now, when the succubus begins to manifest itself in your dreams, maybe even your daydreams, this is a consequence of all that unconscious and subconscious library of images and energies that you have from your past. So much so that when you begin to go for that long period of fasting from sexual activity, that the body will begin to refer back to those memories in an attempt to bring you back to the present and spill out that energy. It's not so much a spiritual attack. Well, it is, I suppose, a spiritual attack, but I'm trying to keep things very logical in this particular video. It's not so much a spiritual attack as it is a psychic attack on your psychology. The unfortunate reality to this presence in your life is that you will never truly erase those memories. You can only create distance between those events to the point where you are less frequently tying those neurons back together to that mental event with all that adult material. So the longer and longer you begin to remove yourself from it, the more you begin to break those threads to refer back to those particular materials. That's the only real way to do it. We can't erase memories, unfortunately. We can only begin to create distance and space between them. That's why I heavily implore any of you who are struggling with this particular entity to install things like blockers. I have a very good tool in my Sexual Energy Mastery course that allows you to completely remove any attempt by social media, Reddit, Twitter, to give you the opportunity to see explicit adult images, to just completely remove it from your environment. And that's the best way to begin to, again, create space between your present mind and some of those insipid memories that you've had in the past. So brothers, this is a very brief video. Maybe I'll do a video on the physical succubi that begins to present itself in your life as a result of you going 90 days continent. Wonderful and very dangerous things starts to happen when you begin to raise that sexual energy up and you become more polarizing and magnetic. Your magnetic field begins to increase and you begin to attract the feminine very unconsciously, and that can get us into a lot of danger. Do look at the last video on my channel, as I talk a little bit more comprehensively there, but I'll do something a little bit more specific in terms of, let's say, unwarranted women attraction and how to navigate through that. But just to reiterate, brothers, it is a psychic attack as a consequence of social programming, the portals, the screens in our environment. So do a long fast from that particular material and you begin to cut those threads. But once again, if you subscribe to anything of which I've said here, subscribe to me and I'll catch you again very soon. Take care.